What's up, music lovers?
It's your girl, Saunya
and Signature Wifey.
And we are here to talk about how to argue with your spouse. Now, there is a way to do it, okay? There is no way you can be married and not have an argument. Every once in a while, you're going to have an argument.
Absolutely.
Now, my husband don't call it arguments. He call it heated conversation. Now, you call it whatever you want to call it, but at the end of the day, you going to have some arguments.
It's a throwdown in my house. I don't know what they talking about.
Now,
heated conversation.
There are ways to do it.
Well, I'm listening, so teach me.
All right. Number one, don't be at the top of your lungs. You never
Whoa.
You never write at the top of your lungs. You know how we was in that last video?
I need a piece of paper.
How we was in that last video when we was talking about forgiveness?
We wasn't at the top, though.
We was almost there, honey.
We were close.
We was real close.
We was real close.
But no, you never write at the top of your lungs. So you don't want to yell at a person when you're arguing with them, because you want to make sure you can be heard. Because when you yelling at me, I don't hear nothing. For real. I just be like...
Actually, I'd be looking at your actions and laughing. Because I'd be like, you funny.
Yeah. When you be yelling at me, I'd be like, why you mad? It's funny to me. Because you get really excited. So I can imagine how you get with your husband.
Oh, no. On contraire.
Really?
When I say I'm the one that just be... I used to be the one... Oh, I was up there.
Come on and be delivered. She done changed. Amen.
My life complete. So, yeah. Used to be, I was up there. Mm-hmm. And I could go from
0 to 100.
Oh, my God.
Real fast.
Oh, my Lord.
Wow.
But now, I'm be talking like this and just be like, what's wrong with you?
And that's good.
And no, because it pisses him off.
Well, you know what? I think me and your husband might have the same issues. Because when me and Kevin first got together, we didn't know how to argue with each other. I wanted to yell. And he was so just laid back. And
like he is now.
What in the world? Like, how we gonna have an argument? How we gonna get through this when he quiet like that? I feel like he not listening.
Absolutely.
But I guess you don't have to be yelling for me to think you listen to me. And so, me and Virgil might have the same
We are
issues.
so emotional.
We are.
As women, it is hard not to go from 0 to 100 like that.
And I think men expect that from us, which is a good thing.
And it's because, again, we feel like we're not being heard if we're not yelling. Because when I'm talking to you in my normal tone, you might be listening, but are you hearing me? Do
you think that the reason why we yell is because we hold in a lot before we actually speak? Before we actually address the issues, we allow it to pack slide.
Oh,
because I was taught that you pick your battles. But it's the same.
This is how I fight my battles.
When you decide to pick the battle, then all the other ones come up because you didn't address those.
Yeah.
So I think the reason why we yell the way we do is because we just let a lot of stuff slide. Excuse me, but we don't want to argue about everything. Like, don't nobody want to argue every day.
Well, see, the thing is, too, you were talking about, we letting things, pile on top of you. When you do that also, you turn around and end up not only talking about that thing that you're arguing about right then, but you start bringing up all this other stuff.
Because you allowed it to sit there.
Fester.
You didn't dump it. You didn't, you just let it sit there. Now, how do we do that, though? Like, if we decide, okay, we're not going to address this. If we're not going to address it, we need to get rid of it. But how do we get rid of it?
You have to. Don't you have to address it to get rid of it?
I don't know. You remember when people were saying, when you was in high school or maybe middle school, I think I was in middle school, my teacher was like, you want to say something to somebody, but you don't really want to say it to them, just write it down, ball it up and throw it away.
Yeah.
But that never worked for me because I'll write it down, ball it up, throw it away, and the next time you say something to me, it's going to come up. Yelling has been a thing because I come from a loud family, I guess you can say. And I guess it might have a lot to do with your background too. Because my husband, he barely even talks, so you know he's not finna sit up and argue with nobody.
Right.
And so it makes me feel hood, real ghetto,
Yeah.
when we're having an argument and I'm yelling.
It's funny that you say that, because I can remember in my yelling days that I know I got it from my mother. Now, the house I grew up in was my grandmother's home, and she didn't do that. But when I was with my mother, or even now, we have it out, and both of us are at 29,000. We ain't at
How
zero.
do you resolve when two people are at 29,000 though? Like how?
Usually
how
there's
you
not a
resolve?
usually there's not a resolution. What happens is somebody has to back down,
Exactly, that's a problem.
and it's usually me, because I be like, I'm tired of this. It's over.
And it comes back
but
around, though.
Absolutely, because she don't like for it to be over, and she wants to be right. She wants to be right. Okay, so I'm at a point now. You can have it.
But that's your grandmother, right?
That's with my bio mom. My grandmother doesn't argue.
Okay.
My grandmother
Your
barely.
mother.
Yes.
But with your husband, you can't do that. You don't live with your mama.
Absolutely.
With your husband, how do you come to resolve if both of y'all yelling? If somebody back down, it's always gonna come right back up again.
Yeah.
It's gonna keep coming back around because it never was any resolve. We just yelled till we got tired.
Yeah. Usually, man, and now that you said that, I thinking back, I'm like, oh my God, I wonder if that was resolved, and I wonder if this got resolved, and
Because we just yell until we
it's
get
just-
tired.
right,
or until somebody walk out.
until somebody walks away, or somebody be like, I'm finna go, or I'm going in another room. Yeah, that has happened lots and lots of times. And then there are other times when there are things that we probably want to argue about, and we don't even say nothing to each other, and then the house is quiet for like the rest of the night, for 6, 7, 8 hours, and then you just go to bed, and then you wake up the next day, and this the next day.
We gotta have some resolve. Number one, because my husband don't let stuff go until there is resolve.
Oh my
and
God.
even when I think that it has been resolved, he still got questions. He's like, okay, because he want to be sure. Like, I don't want to have to deal with this no more, because we got other stuff to deal with.
Yeah.
And so, man, like, it used to burn me up. I'm like, okay, we're good. Because me and Kevin don't have arguments like 5-10 minutes and then we resolve it and it be over. No, it be like 5 to 10 days.
Right.
Days at a time. Like, we try to talk about it, leave it alone for a little while, go, eat, do some things, come back the next day, talk about it a little more.
I don't want to go eat, do some things with you when we arguing. That's a problem.
Well, we gotta eat, honey. I don't like for things to go on for days at a time.
Yeah.
So that's a problem for me. However long it take with my husband, it's like however long it take, we gonna do this until we get it resolved, and that's crazy.
So that goes back to your conversation, us briefly discussing submission. Yeah, I'm learning still, and it's been 15 years.
We're gonna talk about that in another video, because submission, we gotta talk about what it actually is before we talk about submitting, because everybody think it's just a woman submitting to a man thing, and I have a problem with that.
It's not.
But anyway, the next thing, don't hit below the belt, okay?
Don't hit below the belt in what you say.
Yeah, and what you are
not
don't
action.
Hit below the belt, honey.
Right, not
honey,
in
because
action.
that's needed for when the argument is over. Amen. Okay. Anyway, don't hit below the belt. Like, if you know that something that you say is going to sting, it's going to hurt real bad, it's going to damage, don't say it.
And if it's something you know it's about to be something you can't take back.
Right. Because when
those words come out your mouth, you can't.
Yeah. When things hurt,
there is no backspace.
You can't take it back. When things hurt that bad, you just can't take it back. And a lot of times, people say things below the belt because they feel defeated in the argument.
Yeah.
But when you are married, there's no winner or loser. And that's what we have to think about. Like, a lot of people argue just to win a conversation, or just, just to be right.
Right.
But you don't argue to listen
win.
and understand your partner. So the conversation should be to understand each other and not to win the conversation. Honey, I'm guilty of that because I was the shade queen, and I would tell people in a minute, you cannot outshade me. But I had to realize that I can't do that when it comes to my husband. I gotta sleep with this man every night. If I keep throwing shade at him every day, we're gonna have some problems.
They're gonna have a little bit
We
of problem.
can't go below the belt. If you know your husband got a little thing, don't talk about it in an argument. Okay? If you know he ain't good in bed, don't talk about it in an argument.
Jesus.
If you know his mama ugly, don't say nothing about her in the argument. I'm Jessica. These are examples, okay? Those
are awfully good examples,
Those
though.
are awful examples, but it's okay. It could be anything.
It is what it is.
Anything, and especially something that your spouse loves, their career. They may not be where they want to be
Absolutely.
at this point. You don't bring that up in an argument.
That's
and
why
be like,
you
well,
not
that's
this
why-
did it.
That's you know.
Don't do that. Please don't do that, because you are damaging your relationship.
Not only are you damaging your relationship, you're pushing your spouse away.
Absolutely.
Because when you down them, somebody is gonna lift them up.
Hello.
And you don't want to put your husband down without extending a hand to lift them up.
Absolutely.
And you're gonna have to lift up a few things.
Absolutely. And you're gonna have to lift them up high.
I know that's right.
High and lift it up.
Listen, all I'm saying is don't hit below the belt, because it is very dangerous. It's a very dangerous game, because if you hit below the belt and then I hit below the belt and we both hitting below the belt, some hate gonna fester up. Okay, so we gonna sit here and you gonna tell me how you really feel since that came out.
Yeah.
I want to hear what else.
And it doesn't doesn't go away easily at all.
It does not go well. If you have a problem with something, address it in a way. Ask questions.
Yes.
My husband taught me this. Don't just assume that I'm trying to hurt you. Ask me what I mean by what I said.
Because you know what assuming is.
It makes a what?
Ice. Out of you
ice.
and me.
But you got to ask what you mean. Just like if I say, why you always so angry? And then you just come back at me with something instead of saying, what do you mean by that?
Right.
And then I answer.
Why you always so defensive?
Right. And it may not be, I may not be asking the question in an accusation type of way. I may just
You're
be
trying to asking for understanding.
To understand.
Yeah.
And so, we gotta
do better.
Do better about being so defensive.
Absolutely.
That's a good one. So.
And we have to be intentional. When you're in arguments, you have to be intentional about asking the questions that will get you the answers to satisfy what you want to know.
Long because I got another one. Some people don't like to talk about certain things because they're guilty of it.
Jesus.
You gotta know how to address the hard things.
Yeah.
Because we gotta talk about it. And then it's like.
But that's what's wrong in a lot of relationships now, is that they don't ever talk about the hard things.
Their flaws. Especially if you got cheaters in if a cheater is in your relationship.
Right.
As soon as you ask him about cheating, now I gotta be cheating. Yeah. And then see, now you look real guilty.
You look very guilty, because then I'm sitting up looking at you like, oh, for real?
You look real guilty.
Because when you doing all that, what you hiding?
Okay.
Because I can sit here, you say that to me, what do you mean? Mm-hmm. But when you start now this, that, and the other, you doing like this, Britt. You trying to.
But we gotta have the hard conversation, because a lot of times one spouse don't know why the other one is distant, and so I want to know, like, is it somebody else? If I have to ask that question, let me ask it without feeling bad just say no. If it's not nobody else, just say no, and then we good.
They don't, but men don't take it like that. When you asking a guy, generally, is there somebody else? Why, like you said, why it got to be somebody else? Blah blah blah. No, you don't understand. I'm asking, one, to gain understanding, because undoubtedly, either there's something missing here, which is the reason why we're having this heated conversation,
Right.
or something has been said.
We have to address it. I want to like you. I want to like my husband. I don't want to just love my husband. I want us to be able to have a good time together and talk about things.
Wait, did you just say, I want to like my husband?
I do.
I understand.
I do. It's so many. You would be surprised. No, you wouldn't.
Oh, hell,
No, you
I
wouldn't.
mean, no, I wouldn't.
I'm
not surprised in the least.
Couples
That
where
don't like they
don't
gun
like each
spouse.
other.
How can you be married to somebody that you don't like?
I watched these two, and it's, you know, like a lot of times it's hard to even see a marriage when two people are friends.
Absolutely.
You and Virgil, y'all have so much fun together. Y'all talk about things. Y'all, you know, y'all could talk about something and just laugh and, you know, and
Clown
remember
about
this
it.
and remember that. And I just be like, Like, me and Kevin a little bit more on the lovey-dovey side. We friends, but we're
a whole lot on the lovey-dovey side.
We're a little bit more on that side. We like to touch each other in public. We like to do that type of thing. People, the stuff people get disgusted with, which I don't know why. I don't understand that.
That is just your love language. You
happy
cannot be
when
offended.
You see the black love.
You cannot be offended when they don't
I'm not
understand
offended.
love
I
language.
Don't get it. I just don't get it. Like, I accept, you accept. Okay? Just leave me alone. You don't like it. It make you feel like you want to throw up, then dismiss yourself.
Oh, not throw up. Just be like, get a room.
Yeah. So we got to get along in our relationships so that we can kind of spread that down to our kids. You know, a lot of times relationships where couples don't like each other, it's like they drop down to the kids, and then the kids got to pick a side. That's the thing that burns me up the most.
Yeah.
The kids feel like they got to pick a side because y'all at each other's throats. Well, I'm gonna be over here because I don't want to make mama mad, or I don't want to make daddy mad, or whatever. That's a bad situation to put your kids in, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Anyway, y'all, this video has gone on long enough. We appreciate you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss a video. Don't forget to meet us every Tuesday right here at 7 p.m. live with the wives. All right? Okay, y'all. Until next time.
We are 2 musicians' wives. Not 4, but 2.
Not 4?
I did like this. Yeah.
All right, y'all. Bye.
Bye.